Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's been a while. If you guys have watched any previous videos, you know that I used to drive a Q50 twin turbo. Unfortunately, that time has come to an end. I was on my way home from work one night and I was cut off on the highway and swerved and lost control. Hit a guardrail at 70 miles an hour, completely totaled it, destroyed the whole front end of the car, destroyed the entire side of the car. The whole front passenger wheel was ripped off from impact. But I was lucky enough to get my hands on one of my dream cars. My new to me 2008 C6 Corvette. It is an LS3. It's got the TR6060 manual transmission. It is also the Z51 track package. So it has the upgraded stabilizer bars, the front sway bar and rear sway bar are a little bit thicker in diameter compared to a base model. This is a base model just with the performance package. It has the upgraded brakes, so same brake calipers as your base model C6 Corvette, although the rotors are slightly bigger and they are also cross-drilled for better cooling. It also has a different gear ratio in the TR6060 transmission. The gear ratio is slightly different. I would go into depth and explain that, but I'm not really sure what the gear ratio difference is. Also, the rear differential has a different gear ratio compared to your base model C6. Another thing with the Z51, I was just trying to remember, this car has a power steering oil cooler, it has a transmission oil cooler, as well as an engine oil cooler. So this thing is pretty much made to go around a track. I don't track drive it, I've only had it for a month or two now, so I'm still getting used to it. It's also my first manual car, so that's another thing about this is I actually bought it and picked it up in Gainesville. From a guy that lived in Alabama, and I did not know how to drive it, so I was lucky enough to have my girlfriend who knows how to drive a manual drive this home for me. And then that same night I was so excited I got in the car and drove around the neighborhood a few times and learned how to drive it myself. And if I'm being honest, I mean, I've driven a couple other manual cars, just giving it a shot, and I've never had really good luck. I drove a manual BRZ, stalled that one out quite a few times. I drove a manual BMW, I believe it was a 2 Series BMW. That one was a little bit easier, but this one is, it's almost like you don't even notice it. I mean, obviously it is a manual, so it is different than driving an automatic transmission, but it is relatively easy. The clutch bite point is farther out. But this car is so light and has so much torque that you don't even have to apply gas to get it going, which was the best part for me. So learning how to drive it was quite simple. But I'd like to show you guys around, show you the car, and then show you a few things that I love about it and a few things that I hate about it. And that list is very small, so I'll go ahead and show you guys around. Currently doing a valve cover job on it. The driver's side valve cover was leaking just a little bit of oil. This car only has 50,000 miles, so not really any issues, and previous owner didn't have any issues, but I'll show you guys what I got going on right now. Went ahead and took off the coil packs, which are on this huge bracket which sits right on top of the valve covers. So this is kind of what it looks like naked. Valve cover's just hanging out here. It's actually loose right now. I just haven't pulled it off the gasket. And then on this side, I do have the valve cover off already. I can show you guys what that looks like. It's just all the rocker arms, individual rocker arms. They're all in good shape. A few of them move side to side, but that's normal. You just don't want any excessive play. So I'm lucky all of these are in good condition. But yeah, here she is. She's got a towel on right now so I don't mess it up. It is Jetstream blue. It's got, I'm not sure if these wheels come factory black, but they are painted. I'm not sure if that's how it usually comes, but it's good paint. So I like the black rims. It goes well. The previous owner also wrapped the roof black, so it goes well with the black wheels. I think I'm gonna do the roof in a glossy black though. The one thing is about this black roof, as you all know, I live in Florida, and the Florida heat with a black roof is a no-go. If you're worried about heat and the temperature inside of the car, black roof may not be the best idea for you. Let me show you guys a few other things. Here's the rotors, the upgraded rotors I was telling you guys about. Very similar to the stock size, the base model size, except these are cross drilled and slightly bigger, and the calipers are the same, just regular Akebono brake calipers with some Bosch brake pads. It's the rear end. She looks amazing as ever. I was lucky enough that the previous owner has put a Borla Attack catback exhaust, which sounds phenomenal. I'll give you guys a start up. I got a custom plate for it, of course, had to. I was also lucky enough that the previous owner went ahead and put in a MGW short throw shifter. So the shifting is a lot tighter than a factory Corvette. I really like the short. I mean, I haven't driven it with the stock style shifter, so I'm not really sure what it feels like, but it is very tight with the MGW. So if you're trying to get quicker shift times, this is exactly what you're gonna want. The previous owner also put in a Apple CarPlay system, which is amazing. So I have Apple CarPlay and a good stereo system. It's a Bose stereo system. I believe it's, I don't know how many speakers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think there's one up here. I think it's just a 6 speaker system. And then I'll show you guys, I added a little something in the back. Your basic wires are kind of all over the place right now. I haven't really gotten to it, but this was for a Rockville. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, this was for a Rockville 10-inch. Took the Rockville out because it was a piece of junk. And then I got this amplifier. I believe it's 600 watt RMS, or maybe it's 800 watt RMS, not 100% sure, but system sounds fantastic now with an extra subwoofer, and you got your speaker over here and a speaker over here. I think later on I'm gonna get the subwoofer box that fits into these little cubby holes. The subwoofer they sell for this car fits right in here, so you would take this little lid off and fit your subwoofer in so it doesn't go anywhere. But I haven't had any issues with this, and it hasn't been sliding anywhere, so I may keep this for a while until I decide I want to spend $400 on a subwoofer box. But let me show you guys a few other things. Interior, it's got the Corvette logo stitched in the head. Yeah, but it's fully two-tone. Even in here, door panels are two-tone. The seats are kind of weird in the Corvette. These are like, it's almost like a separate piece. Like I can get behind this little cushion and move it around, but I love this two-tone interior. I mean, it is going to be a little difficult to keep it clean because it's obviously a brighter, it's almost like white. It's like a whitish gray. And then it has it's not carbon, but it kind of looks like it. It's some weird interior trim color. I'm not really sure what it is, but I'm a fan. First few things I did was an oil catch can setup, as well as the aerate intake. So I went with Add W1, which I had some Q50 parts from, and really good brand. Looks amazing. It's a full billet aluminum catch can with billet aluminum hose clamps. I also have a secondary catch can, which I'll get onto in a few minutes. But this catch can runs to the valley, I believe they call it, or the gallery. So it pulls crankcase ventilation from the gallery and then goes back into the intake manifold there. And then this aerate intake, it's an absolute beast. This filter, just in comparison to my hand, it is ginormous. I absolutely love this car. Now, like I said, there's a few things that are fantastic and a few things that aren't so great. And one of the not so great things being, it's a GM. I love GM cars, and GM's got quite the reputation, but the suspension makes noise. Now, there's a service bulletin that the rear axle axle nuts that sit right in here back out over time, and they become loose and then they start clicking. So when I first bought this car, it was clicking, making all kinds of noises. So took the caps off, got some red Loctite, put it on the axle nuts, tightened it back in. A couple weeks later, they came loose again and again and again and again. And right now they're loose, and I've had enough of these axle nuts. I'm thinking maybe I need to just get new axles. Maybe there's an issue with threads on the axles. Axles aren't too expensive for this car. But also the torque tube, I don't know if you guys know, but the C6 Corvettes and C5s and C7s, I don't know about any other ones, have a rear transmission. So I don't know if you guys can see, but the transmission actually sits right in the center here, and the torque tube runs all the way up to the engine in the front. Now there's a tunnel cover that sits under the torque tube and goes all the way up. Now this tunnel cover on my Corvette was completely loose when I got it. There's never been work done on the torque tube at all. And the cover had backed out. All the bolts, there's about 30 bolts that go down the whole length of the car that hold this torque tube cover on. And they were all loose. All of them were like almost finger tight. So I tightened all those up, and a lot of the noises that I was facing disappeared. Now another GM thing, the roof on C6 Corvettes comes off. Now this is a hard top or target top. So there's a mounting point here, and then on the other side, and there's also one in the middle on the inside. Grease your roof. I mean, it might sound crazy, but all the points that contact need to be greased. If you don't grease them, your roof will be creaking and cracking and making all kinds of sounds when you're driving, and it does not sound like your Corvette. It sounds like a dang Oldsmobile. Other thing about the C6 Corvettes with the LS2 and the LS3, I think you guys already know, is the harmonic balancer. These cars, for some reason, have an issue with the harmonic balancer. It's in two pieces, and one of the pieces of the harmonic balancer will start wobbling. Now, obviously, when your harmonic balancer, which is right there, starts wobbling, your belt sits on the harmonic balancer. So your belt will start going back and forth, and it will start making a chirping sound. And then you have a chirpy and clunky and weird sounding Corvette, which is not a good thing. Another thing I noticed when I bought this car, this is something I've never had to deal with, is clutch fluid. Now this car has two separate reservoirs. It has clutch fluid and brake fluid, which I use .4 for both. Don't worry about it saying .3. There was a service bulletin for C6s that .4 should be used in the brake system and .4 should be used in the clutch system. So I use pre-stone and I do the clutch fluid. But what I was going on with is this clutch fluid gets dark so fast. I can completely flush the system out and it will still come out looking like this. And I think you guys know, .4 fluid is clear, and within a day it turns brown, instantly brown. But that is another thing you'll want to keep up with, is your clutch fluid on a manual transmission. It engages the clutch in and out through hydraulic pressure, and this is the fluid that does it. So you're going to want to make sure this fluid is good at all times, so you don't have to worry about your clutch. Overall, it's a fantastic car. I love everything about it. It is reliable. It gets okay gas mileage. I'd give that half a finger if I could. Gets 25 on the highway if you're not hauling ass, and it gets pretty crap gas mileage in the city. But if you're buying a Corvette, you should know that it does not get good gas mileage. Do not buy this as an economical car, because it is not. But then again, it is very fun. It makes 430 crank horsepower, which is phenomenal. This car weighs 3,100 pounds. My Q50 made upwards of 450 to 500 horsepower, but it was 4,000 pounds, so it made more power than this, but was well slower than this because of the weight difference. The power to weight ratio in this car is well better than it is in a 4,000 pound Q50. If you guys are in the market for a C6, do it. It is well worth it, and you will not in any way, shape, or form regret it. I mean, unless you're not prepared to pay the price of owning a Corvette, obviously. But it's amazing. I love everything about it, and honestly, glad the Q50's gone. I've had too many issues with that thing. All right, guys, we're all finished up here. Hope you guys liked the Vette. Got a few more things to finish up here. Hopefully I've persuaded you to buy your own C6 Corvette, and down the line we should have some more fun stuff, fun activities going on. Hopefully soon I'm gonna order a pair of headers and an X-pipe. And then I'll be getting a dyno tune down at Performance Destination with Desmond. And after that, maybe one day we'll get a big chopping cam in here. But for the time being, this is how she sits, and that'll do it for this video, guys. I appreciate you watching, and if you do me the favor, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and we will see you guys in the next one. Trying to sleep. I'm